All right, so I wanted to do a video addressing something that I think is people that watch this channel already kind of know where I'm going to go with this, but I think it's important to kind of reiterate these points here, and that's given the current climate we're in right now, the current situation, what would be the best home gym to get for your house at this point in time? And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm having this conversation online and offline with people about what is the best home gym to get. And I think even without given the current context we're in right now, something to consider is that there's a lot of great videos on the internet about how to build cheap and affordable home gyms that look, something like this. Some of these are pretty, elaborate and extravagant here, but I think I saw this video about the $500 home gym on Amazon. It's just not the case anymore. You can't do this, given with the price of weights, given just the high cost, given that the current economic climate. People just in general are either canceling gym memberships because they can't afford it, or that they're not even open anymore. The gyms are filed for bankruptcy, or people are just don't want to spend a lot of money. They're kind of watching their wallets, but they still want to exercise. They still want to do resistance training specifically. I would caveat and just say right in the beginning here, I'm not going to see any cardio stuff in this recommendation, because really cardio is free. I can go into that later. You can argue about wintertime, but even that, I mean, it's like cardio is kind of free, basically. I mean, you can get cardio equipment basically for nothing. So, or you can use your body weight in very creative and not so creative ways. So before I say, and I know there's people, I can already hear people saying like that are just calisthenic body weight people that would say, well, you don't need weights or resistance, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but this is for people that want a home gym to essentially accomplish 90+% of their goals. I think there's a big part of people out there that want a home gym, want to accomplish those goals that 90+% of people want to do, which is improve body composition, build muscle mass, or lean muscle mass, or tone their body, or whatever. And they don't necessarily want these giant, essentially little commercial gyms in their house. And again, I'm saying that from somebody who had that in the past and did it twice. Versus now, my gym is literally right behind me. You can't see, it's kind of collapsed. I got some stuff in the back of the storage room, in the closet, in the basement. This is my kids playing in this area and in the other area. And I have all my workout stuff is right there. Generally, I'll put it away and clean up after it. But I have a pair of power blocks, dumbbell. I got some bunch of little things. But my essential stuff that I use is my WeederWorks, which I'll get to, a pair of power blocks, dumbbells. But I can't recommend those power block dumbbells anymore, those adjustable dumbbells, because you just can't find them. And if you can't find them, you're going to pay like $2,000 for what I originally paid like $1,000 for. Even at that time, I think I can't recommend them if they're available, because some people just don't want to or can't spend that money now. So that's who I'm tailoring this video to. It's people that want to hit the general goals that most people are looking to do when they start playing around with weights, and they're trying to do so on a budget. So this is what I would tell people to buy on Amazon, the best budget home gym that, in my opinion, you could get for the money. Okay, and I'm gonna look at a couple nuances. I could put a dollar amount in this. My dollar amount is really going to be under essentially $300. Or $350 or $400, I don't know, but $500. I think nowadays people might not be able to spend that. So this is the people I'm talking to. I've had this conversation with people offline a lot too. People I have, friends and family, and people that know me. First, I'll say this: huge advocate of free weights and barbell training and dumbbells. I spent thousands of dollars just going to barbell training alone, with different Olympic lifting seminars, squatting and deadlifting seminars. So I'm a fan of this stuff. It's not that I don't like these things. It's just I can't recommend those things to people if, one, you can't get a hold of it, or it's going to cost an arm and a leg, or if the person just doesn't want the stuff in their house. So that's something I want to get into. So if I go to just, we're going to do all this stuff from Amazon. The very first thing I'm going to say, and you guys know that watch this channel, and I'm sounding like a broken record on purpose, because I'm really selling this because I believe in it, that this is honestly the biggest kind of like savior right now for people that don't have a gym, that are looking to just do the generic things people want to do at the gym, like just build their muscle and just or do toning, whatever. I thought of my wife was talking the same thing. She's jumping on this. She's pregnant now, but she'll be jumping on this soon. She actually could do a whole other video on pregnant people using this machine. But that is the WeederWorks, the Ultimate Body WeederWorks, or something like this, in the Total Gym knockoffs. People that know my channel know I love this, but why do I love this so much? Right? For a number of reasons. One, for the cost of entry and the price point. Notice again, it's not available. It's not in stock. But why am I including this in here? I've said this before in previous videos. Even if you buy it used, which it is still available, I'm surprised it is, it's still worth it in my opinion. and all these are free shipping. So $179. You'll see some examples later on of some stuff I would maybe recommend, but the shipping is crazy, and I would not. I think it's just wait or try and look on the aftermarket stuff, and you could look all this stuff. Yeah, you could find, obviously look at Craigslist and things like that for stuff you can find. I mean, no question, that goes without saying. But on Amazon, what would I tell someone to get like right now that they can get? It would be this very low cost of entry. I've said this before, even if you don't like it, because a lot of people, that happens to people, they buy barbells, dumbbells, squat racks, they decide they don't use it, they're not going to use it, and now it's sitting in their house, and they invested a lot of money into it, and now they get rid of it. This is not going to really break the bank. I think for most people, they could at least budget a little bit to get this. And again, it's free shipping, and to me, it's worth it. If my thing broke tomorrow, I would go on and buy this. Like I said in previous videos, I would go buy one used if I couldn't get it in stock right now at this price. I have an older model. It still holds up. Nothing, the only thing that's ever broke on it was the original straps. There's some little wear on the edges of the machine. Otherwise, even my bungee cables are still just as elastic as they once were. Always take them off when you're done using them. But yeah, it's a cheap metal for sure, but it's still working. Little point too, I'll say this too, but I'm not going to try and scare you guys from aftermarket products, because it used to be back in the day you could find like good USA quality made stuff that was a little expensive, but it was still way worth it. Nowadays, you either can't find it or it's crazy in the price. But yeah, if you buy anything with cheap metal, like a lot of the exercise equipment that's even available, that's the thing. You're buying cheap stuff that is now triple the price. You don't want to mess around with that cheap metal. There's a lot of reports in the past, and I should have found it for the video about. It was a report I heard about like kettlebells, like cheap kettlebells, and essentially getting lead poisoning in people because the metal was so cheap, and the stuff kind of chipped away, and eventually they're on this bad metal. So I have these little rubber things on mine. If that rubber came off, I would put tape around it. I wouldn't trust it. So just a little thing thinking about when you're buying cheap exercise equipment. Watch the metal, okay? But this is what I would get. I had a previous video about comparing Total Gyms to the Ultimate Weeder Works. Right now, there's a couple different models that were available. This G3 used to be cheaper. It is now unavailable at this point. This is the second-hand offer. It was like $399. Now it's gone since I made that video literally I think a week ago. This G1 is still available on Amazon with free shipping at $299, but you don't have the little leg straps. So the Total Gyms, to preface the other video, I think they are good because they fold up. But point is, you're either looking at this one, it's $299, but you own the squat rack, or you're looking at this one, it's $499. So, again, I didn't drive this home enough, maybe in the first point, that people might say, well, this is kind of a gimmicky device. Maybe why are you recommending this as your home gym? This is kind of like the staple. Because I really do think you can do everything on this thing to accomplish 90+% of people's goals on this thing. Yeah, you can't work your legs as much, but I mean, you can get creative ways of working your legs as far as deadlifting, awkward things. You can get cheap things that are heavy. There's a lot of videos on the internet about just getting cheap metal rods and putting cement blocks on the end of them to lift things to work your legs and work, the extension from your back from like a deadlift. I have cheap. I bought a free keg once from somewhere. There's videos online about that. I'll deadlift my kegs in my garage if I really wanted to. But I have a pair of power blocks. But again, I would still recommend this to people. You can do creative things with your lower body. There's ways to work your lower body on this. I have videos on this about how to do that. But staying on track here, would I pay $500 for this? I don't know. This would be a hard one, but if I really wanted to upgrade, I don't think I'm really getting a huge upgrade in the quality, although I don't have one of these compared to the Weeder Works. This thing is held up just fine for all the years I have. Mine doesn't even look like this. It's an older version. It actually had a different name. So that's what I would recommend. This first. The second thing I'd recommend is basically a bench of some sort. Oh, and actually, first let's look at this, guys, really quick. If you look at this, these Cat barbells, which is a cheap brand, most people know that at this point. Nothing knocking them. I've had a lot of Cat products, but it's cheaper stuff. And usually this stuff back in the day was like $1 per pound. You can get this even cheaper back in the day. It was like started $30-something for a 45-pound plate. Now it's $120 just for one plate. Okay, so, and at least this has free shipping though. But again, the cost of entry to start buying all these barbells and weights and plates is going to rack up really quickly. And again, my point initially is if this is what you want, then obviously this is what you're going to get to. I'm speaking to the people that aren't necessarily knowing what they want to do, but they know their goals and they know they want to work out at home, but they're not exactly sure on the right route to do that. That's where I'm putting them towards that Total Gym or those knockoff things. So you can see how much this costs. You might say also, why don't I recommend these little bands? And these seems like a cheap, affordable option. It's because, well, this one is like a $20 coupon, but there's no one I saw was like $69. But a lot of these were, for the price, it's not, my point is they're not really, they're cheap-ish, but I just don't trust bands. I can do a whole video on bands and the training and their effectiveness, but I guess I shouldn't knock it till I really try this particular product. But in my opinion, bands end up breaking. They wear and tear over time. This, on the other hand, these are hard cables. Yeah, I'm sure they're cheaper material in the cables that are in there, but mine doesn't show any signs of breaking anytime soon. So I just think for the cost you're going to get, that's a better value. The next thing I was going to say is a bench that there was one good one I found on here that I'll show you guys. The one, if I was going to get one, I used to recommend this one, but you know what? There are some kind of weird reviews about that. I'll kind of show you guys what I mean. This is something that kind of, we can talk about this a little bit. People start saying didn't sit straight, it was cheap material. This unfortunately is the problem with a lot of, like I said, these newer last few years, stuff just gets cheaper and cheaper. The metal's cheaper. When you're buying a bench, you want a hard, sturdy bench. The one to me that looks like, as far as Amazon, that if I were going to buy something, would be this one. It looks like this is more solid construction. Based on what people are saying, it seems like the better deal. I like to get these solid benches instead of the incline declines because they tend to because of what they are, they're more solid, and that's what I like about it. If you're going to do things like step ups or I do a lot of stuff just utilizing the bench, standing up and off them, or even when you lay on and things like that, hopping on and off them. I want something that's really solid, or if I'm going to hold it and do some leg stuff like I do with my legs in the Total Gym and do stuff, I'll do it that way. So that would be my second thing. $129 is a pretty good price. And the third thing I would get would be it would be this and a pair of dumbbells, like I said in a previous video. The only problem is I can't really recommend that now, in the fact that I actually saw this available. I'm being serious unless I was mistaken. I'm pretty sure I wasn't. I saw this available for free shipping a little bit ago, and now it's gone. So maybe it totally sold out, but it was around the same price. This is one adjustable dumbbell for $160, up to 71 pounds. I wouldn't say not horrible deal. You have to buy two of them. Might be worth the investment if they're decent dumbbells. However, if we start looking at what starts to happen here is, right, 163, plus 126 shipping. And this is the problem of the day, right? So basically, in order to get two pairs of dumbbells, you're looking at spending $600 on two adjustable dumbbells that go up to 71 pounds. So my point is, I don't think you need to jump into that. I would say get one of these things now if you feel like, well, I really miss the dumbbells. There's a lot of things I'm missing out on. I want to get essentially my free weight training on. Get this first, then look for those prices in the meantime. That's why I think this is the best budget thing to get right now. If you have absolutely nothing, I would be getting this in a heartbeat. There's no question about I would get this thing. I wouldn't look at dumbbells a second. I would be buying this first, and then I would be waiting to see if I could find a cheaper pair of dumbbells so they get on sale. But that would be my two primary options. If money wasn't an object, I shouldn't say not an object. Let's say I had $1,000 to spend. It wouldn't be a squat rack and barbells and dumbbells just yet, because I think I'd be really sacrificing the quality of what I'm getting. For most people, I think for a low cost entry, that 90+% of people I talked about, it would be getting one of these things and then getting a pair of adjustable dumbbells that were decent adjustable dumbbells. That would be my personal preference, obviously along with a bench too. Hopefully that was informative. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I know a lot of people might disagree with what I'm saying right now, but again, I want you guys to think on the context. Any questions and comments, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. I still think this is the best option, what to get in your house, given the climate in 2020 right now, to work your body for resistance training. Again, as far as building muscle and muscle definition, this would be what I would recommend. Thanks. Any questions or comments, let me know.